In this segment, we'll show you how to assemble your new Agri-Fab 52-inch heavy-duty lawn sweeper. Note that right and left hand are determined from the driver's seated position on the tractor. We'll begin assembly by aligning the right-hand hitch tube, part 4, with the sweeper housing, and loosely securing it with two 5/16 by 1 3/4 inch hex bolts, part 19, and two 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part 28. Do not fully tighten them yet. Then repeat for the left-hand hitch tube, part 3. Then, insert two 5/16 inch by 3 inch hex bolts, part 17, into the ends of the hitch tubes, and loosely secure them with two 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part 28. Do not fully tighten them yet. Now, measure the height of your tractor's drawbar to determine the arrangement of the hitch brackets. If your tractor has 10 or more inches of ground clearance, place the bent bracket on top. If it has less than 10 inches of ground clearance, place the straight bracket on top. Now, loosely secure the assembly using two 5/16 by 2 1/4 inch hex bolts, part 18, and two 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part 28. Do not fully tighten them yet. Now, go back and fully tighten the hitch tubes at the sweeper assembly. Then fully secure the ends of the hitch tubes together. Next, fully secure the hitch brackets. Now, assemble two hitch tube spacers, part 32, the hitch pin, part 36, and the large hairpin cotter, part 33, to the hitch brackets. Next, slide on the height adjustment grip, part 35, onto the height adjustment handle, part 2. Then align the height adjustment handle on the inside of the bracket and fully secure it with two 5/16 by 1 inch carriage bolts, part 23, and two 5/16 inch nylock nuts, part 28. Now, assemble a 5/16 inch by 1 1/4 inch hex bolt, part 20, a 5/16 inch flat washer, part 22, and a small spacer, part 30. Then slide the assembly through the height adjustment strap, part 16. Next, slide on a 5/16 inch flat washer, part 22. Now, insert the bolt through the hole in the end of the sweeper housing and fully secure it with a 5/16 inch nylock nut, part 28. Then insert a 5/16 by 1 inch carriage bolt, part 23, through the height adjustment handle and the height adjustment strap. Then secure it with a 5/16 inch flat washer, part 22, and the wing knob, part 37. Next, slide the end of an upper hopper tube into the end of a rear hopper tube. Then align the holes in the end of the tube and secure it using a 1/4 by 1 1/8 inch clevis pin, part 26, and a small hair cotter, part 34. Now, repeat for the other upper hopper tube. Next, fit the end of the lower hopper tube into the end of a rear hopper tube. Then align the holes and secure them using two 1/4 inch by 1 1/8 inch clevis pins, part 26, and two small hairpin cotters, part 34. Now, repeat for the other lower hopper tube. Now, unfold the hopper bag and lay it out with the windscreen on top. Then place the assembled lower hopper tubes into the bottom of the hopper bag and slide the tubes to the back of the bag. Now, insert the ends of the assembled upper hopper tubes down through the stitched sleeves in the sides of the hopper bag. Next, slide the upper hopper tubes underneath the mesh windscreen. Then attach the ends of the upper hopper tubes to the outside of the lower hopper tubes using two 3/8 inch by 3/4 inch hex bolts, part 24, and 3/8 inch nylock nuts, part 29, inserting the bolt from the inside of the bag. Tighten and then loosen 1/4 to 1/2 turn. Now, insert the ends of the hopper support rods, part 15, into the holes in the upper and lower rear hopper tubes by flexing the rods just enough to fit into the holes. Ensure that you do not overflex the rods, as it can cause the steel rods to lose supporting tension. Next, install a plug, part 38, into the end of a bag arm tube, part 14. Then repeat for the other plug. Now, insert the end of a hopper bag pivot rod, part 8, through the upper hopper tube. Then install a 5/8 inch spacer, part 31, and a bag arm tube, part 14, onto the end of the rod. Now, slide the rod through the stitch sleeve at the front of the mesh windscreen. Then install another bag arm tube onto the rod, and then a 5/8 inch long spacer. Next, push the hopper bag pivot rod through the upper hopper tube at the other side of the sweeper. Now install a small hairpin cotter, part 34, into the end of each rod. Then insert the bag frame strap, part 9, through the stitch sleeve at the front edge of the bag bottom. Next, attach the bag frame strap to the lower hopper tubes using 2/4 inch by 1 1/4 inch hex bolts, part 21, and 1/4 inch nylock nuts, part 27. Now fold the bag flaps around the lower hopper tubes and attach the snaps on the bag bottom. Then tie the rope to the center of the upper rear hopper tube. Next, attach the bag assembly to the sweeper housing, sliding the ends of the bag arm tubes into the ends of the sweeper's hitch tubes. Then, secure the tubes with 2/4 inch by 1 3/4 inch clevis pins, part 25, and small hair cotter pins, part 34. To attach the sweeper hitch to a tractor, place the tractor and sweeper on a flat level surface. Set the sweeper height adjustment handle to about the middle of its adjustment range. Then attach the sweeper to the tractor hitch, arranging the 3/4 inch spacers into one of the 6 possible combinations shown on screen. To obtain the best performance from your sweeper, arrange the spacers so that the sweeper bag is level with the ground and approximately 5 inches to 7 inches off the ground.